Hello, so this is part 2, and I would be talking about some problems that can occur when your mind is traveling through the spheres, when you're flying, when you're called schizophrenic or psychotic, which is not a disease, as I mentioned before. So there are certain things that can happen. There are states of mind that might be absolutely phenomenal and absolutely great and cool and superpowers and stuff like that. But there might be some states of mind that you consider, oh, what's that? I'd rather not feel like that. Like, for example, I'm hearing voices. There are demons calling me, you're such an asshole, all the time. Or you're seeing things that seem scary and stuff like that. So there are some thoughts actually that might not be pleasant, and I'll be trying to explain what they might mean and what you can do with it, because it's just a small part, Still, the whole thing is very, very positive, and it's not a disease. But because you do not know how to handle these states of unpleasantness, you might feel like, she's just talking rubbish, it's a disease, and that's it. No, it's not. So these states might include talking to yourself. Well, talking to yourself is actually not a problem at all, but maybe others might have a problem with this, or you might be scared that you're talking to yourself, because obviously it's considered some kind of tragical thing. I do not know why. Don't ask me. That was some sort of, I don't know who said that. So talking to yourself, then imaginary friends, voices in your head, hearing voices, seeing different colors and shape-shifting, then a big euphoria, then a big depression, then paranoia, and then a feeling like other people read my mind, then feelings like you're falling apart, basically, and then next, feeling like there's a conspiracy going on, or many conspiracies in many spheres, then specifically satanic and demonic voices that you hear, okay, and signs. Then you could see signs that might be disturbing for you, okay, and then you can have a feeling that the world is just an illusion, okay. These are states of mind that are absolutely fine. Well, though they might not be pleasant, of course. So what do these states of mind mean? What could they mean? So first of all, there are many solutions to everything. You must find out your specific feeling, your story, your symbols, your language, what's the archetypal language, what signs do mean what for you. For example, you see a sign, let's say, I don't know, a sunflower. And for someone, the sunflower means something positive, and for someone, the sunflower means something totally negative, because I don't know why, maybe they got a sunburn or something, so you have to know what it means for you. Yeah, it's like a dream analysis. If you ever did that, you analyze things, the symbols, just in accordance to your own inner space. What does it mean to your heart, to your feelings? You listen to your feelings. You listen to your intuition. When you analyze these things, and these things will get clearer when you listen to your inner self, let's call it, because the clearness will make you feel better. You will improve, and you will not be so stressed out and thinking that you're sick anymore. So find your own personal meaning. Let's start. So talking to yourself. Talking to yourself is not a problem at all. So if you are talking to yourself and talking about various problems and topics and whatever, there is no problem about that. Don't be scared. Well, it's just a problem for other people, and we know about other people's problems. They could have a problem with practically anything that you do. So don't be scared. Next point, imaginary friends. An imaginary friend is a very, very positive thing too. Children have imaginary friends very commonly. Imaginary friends help you, just like so-called real friends, they're just imaginary. It could be you, it could be your soul guide, it could also be some being from a different sphere. You could be communicating with them, or it's just you are playful, so talking to yourself or to an imaginary friend, there's no problem at all, This is you initiated mainly, and it's really a good friend, No problem. Next thing, this is something that people consider very problematic. It's voices in your head. So you start hearing voices. These voices can be pleasant or unpleasant. These voices can warn you if there's some kind of danger. They can be warning you. Absolutely fine. They can make you feel good, when you feel sad and down, they can make you feel good. So there are lots of positive voices, and this is always a big benefit, Don't be scared. What happens is that there can be voices that are aggressive, that are like threatening you, that are talking to you in a manner like explicit language. You're shit, you're shit, you're shit, you're shit. They can talk to you like this all day long and stuff. So this could either be thoughts that come from yourself or kind of an alternative self of you, and they're just telling you in a very explicit way that there's something that you do not like and that you should change it, but you don't have to be scared. They're just talking like, I don't know, like some drunk person in the pub, like, yeah, man, you just get the hell out of here, do this and that, you're doing this or that wrong, It's not that someone wants to hurt you or stuff. They just wanted to you are basically telling yourself that there's something wrong. So consider thinking about what that could be, For example, your parents force you to study architecture, but you want to be a cowgirl or a cowboy and have a ranch. So maybe your inner self is having a rebellion, and talking to you a lot about this, like, hey, you betrayer, you betray, you betraying, Think about if you are okay with yourself, all the things that you do are done with love and free will. Next, it could also be your intuition or subconscious that wants to tell you something, but there ain't no other way because the intuition cannot step out of you, So it needs to talk to you somehow. It needs to, tell you something that has to be said. So it does this through a voice in your head, maybe also visions. You can have some visions or feelings that are basically called hallucinations, But it's not, of course. But it's just a vision. It's a message from your inner self. You should maybe decipher some kind of metaphors. Sometimes it's not that easy to know what it means. But this is really definitely a message from yourself that you should listen to it and find out what it means. And if you don't listen to it, if you're just be like, oh, okay, this is trash, this is nothing, then it's going to get more and more intense until you really listen to it. So don't be scared. And remember that your intuition is wiser than your logic, you know. Next up, it could also be thoughts. So this is, you know, various possibilities what these thoughts, what these voices might be. It could also be thoughts that come from someone who's living around you or who you're meeting. This person, actually, you know, you have a telepathic mind, so you pick up thoughts from people, you know, and this person could be telling you something. Maybe they act different, but they think about you in a way, you know. So, like an example, someone is smiling at you, and yeah, everything's fine, but you hear them saying in your mind, really, things like, "Oh, you just die, you bloody rat," or "Go kill yourself, jump in the Niagara Falls," and I don't know what. So this might mean that there's someone who you have to think again if it's all totally transparent and clear what's going on between you and that specific person. If it's the voice you hear from a specific person, you know, you analyze what you and this person have going on, and if it's all as I said, clear. Because there could be conflicts, there can be lies, there can be superficial things that haven't been said, you know, and it could be your partner, for example, and you have to figure this out. Or a next possibility, it could also be your little demon, so-called demon, who just has a bad day and it's just, you know, going on like, oh shit, what's that? You know, so this is just nothing. It's basically all the negativity comes all the aggression and aggressive things come from negative thinking. So it might just be your negative thinking, and then you hear these voices. It could be your voice like that. And don't fear. It could also be your spiritual guide or some kind of entity from another sphere. Well, this is always positive and friendly, though, yeah? So, again, don't panic. This is a friendly voice. Now, the baddest thing are, of course, satanistic, demonic voices that are threatening and that are bothering you all the time, maybe with some kind of religious bullshit, violence, stuff like that. And are we running out of time? Well, this is the ultimative hell. You know, this is why people mostly go and say, okay, this must be a disease because what's happening here? This is not possible. So basically, this happens when old trauma, stress, and basically fear come out of their, you know, they come out of your I don't know, your mind. It has been hidden there somehow, and now they all come out to the light and start screaming. It can be you who is threatening yourself. You are threatening yourself so that you can win over them, you know, so that you do something with it. And you need to have a lot of a sense of humor. Hey, we're running out of time. I'll finish this in the next video. Sorry.